Hey y'all, I came across this article right here last night and it really irked me. It really got under my skin, okay? It says neighbors call police on 12-year-old boy cutting grass. Alright, this little boy right here, he's 12, okay? He just started like his own little like lawn service business, you know, and he was cutting a customer's grass. And a neighbor called and said that he cut a section of their grass and he was in their yard. It really bothered me. Okay? It really bothered me because people need to learn to mind their own business or to stop trying to be such a nuisance, to the neighborhood. Some neighborhoods, well, no, I can't even really say that. Usually in all neighborhoods, usually have that one person that is in everybody's business, like one of those people that peek out the blinds and curtains every time anything happens. Yeah, it's crazy. I actually have one myself, and that's why this bothered me so bad. My neighbor, who actually lives like diagonal to me, for the last 6 years I've been in this house, they have like harassed me the whole time. The entire time I've lived here. Like nothing can happen and they're not all up in our business. But then if something bad happens over here and we need help, they're not around, or they didn't see anything, or they haven't, they haven't seen anything at all. Okay, let me give you an example for this. Alright, like, okay, our house got broken into. And like the people who broke in our house, literally, I don't know how they got the door in, but I mean, they must have been kicking the door so hard or had something, but they busted the door open, okay? And the door that they knocked down would have been so loud to do all this to, but yet people, 4 houses down, were the witnesses. They saw people come over here and they heard a bunch of noise, okay? But the people who live literally diagonal from my house, who's all up in my business, didn't see or hear a thing. You know what I'm saying? But then like I don't know, like they're literally always calling the police for nothing. Like literally for nothing. Like, okay, I have 2 older kids, okay, who are almost 17 and 19. And like just a few weeks ago, all right, they were outside with a friend of theirs. Their friend came by. I think my kids left or whatever, and then they came back and they parked. We have 2 driveways, so they parked in our other driveway, and they were just backed in, and they were just outside hanging out. Like, they can do that. This is where we live. This is their yard. They should be able to be free and hang out at their own house if they want or have friends over. Well, on this particular day, like, we had some road work going on at the end of our street. So the opposite end had a sign that was closing off the road to through traffic, but not to people that live on this road. So, anyways, a little boy who came over here who was actually staying with me. It was a child that I told y'all a while back I had a child staying here. I was helping him and his mom out. Well, they came by so he could get some clothes that he left over here. And this man called the police. As soon as they left, the police came and jumped out at my kids. They were like, "Oh, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all got traffic coming up and down the road. Y'all got too much traffic over here." Nobody even came over here. Literally, one person came over here, and the kid used to live here, but it don't matter whether he lived here or not. They were coming to somewhere on this street. So it's not considered through traffic, you know? And I don't know, like, they're literally just miserable people who are constantly harassing me. And the thing is, it puts me in a position because they work in law enforcement. So it's like, sorry about that. It's like they work in law enforcement. So, you know, it's like if I call the police on them, what's going to happen to them? Nothing. Nothing at all. You know? It's crazy. I mean, and then that same day, y'all, after that happened, my kids left with their friend that was over here, okay, in the car. They left, and when they were driving off, this man's wife was at her window with her cell phone recording my kids, okay? Now, one of them is a minor. One of them, my son, he's 16. He'll be 17 this year. Why in the hell is this woman recording my kids? Okay, why is she recording people? Why is she recording my underage child, my minor kid? I have a problem with that, you know, and I don't really know. As far as I know, you can take pictures of whoever you want, and you can, you know, you can basically record whatever you want, I guess, depending on what you're going to do with it, you know. I don't know, like, to me, it's strange. Like, it's really weird. I want to get out of here. I'm actually in the, not in the process, but, you know, moving is in my future. Let's just put it like that. So, you know, it's crazy how these people are so miserable that they want to cause problems for everybody else. But however, in this article, this young boy, when the neighbor called the police on this young man, you know, it caused, you know, another neighbor, well, one of his other customers had called the news, and it has brought a lot of business and support to his business, you know, so it backfired on the neighbor. You know, when you set out to be spiteful and hateful, you need to be careful, because a lot of times these things backfire on you, especially when the person that you're being spiteful to and trying to lie on, or whatever the case is, isn't doing anything wrong. You know, okay, maybe the child did cut a little section of his grass. Maybe he was in his yard. If it's a yard that's connected and there's no land markers, he didn't know. He's a kid. You know, and how hard it would have been for this neighbor to just go out there and tell this young man in a nice way, excuse me, excuse me, can you please get out my yard? Or excuse me, you're cutting my grass, stay over there, or whatever. He could have told him in a nice way rather than calling the police and filing a complaint. But that's okay, though. Hey, it's probably a good thing that he did, because now this little boy is becoming well known in his community, and he's getting more business because of it. So it's actually a success story instead of what this neighbor wanted it to be. So I'll read the article and I'll show y'all this video. It says, Maple Heights, Ohio. An Ohio boy's summer vacation was anything but exciting after someone called police on the 12-year-old. Reginald Fields started a business cutting grass for his neighbors, but his service at one customer's house resulted in a call to the police. Fields told WEWS News everything was going fine until one of his customers' neighbors called the police, claiming that the teen had cut his grass. They said I was cutting their grass. I didn't know it, Fields said. The neighbor told authorities that the teen had cut a portion of their property and was in their yard. Fields said after the incident he became discouraged, but a customer decided to post about the incident on Facebook. Okay, I'm sorry, that's where I was wrong. They posted it on Facebook. That's how it brought attention to the news. Sorry about that. The post received thousands of views and hundreds of shares. Now Fields is receiving a lot of support for his business. Just give me a call. I will be there on time, Fields said. That's so cute, you know, and it just, you know, I'm so happy to see this young boy doing something positive with his life, because this is a 12-year-old in the summertime. All right. Would you rather this young man be cutting grass or running around out here getting in trouble? You know, it's like, these are the things, you know, that we try to keep our kids busy during the summer, because when they start getting bored and they have nothing to do, what do you tend to do? Find something to get into. And 9 times out of 10, it's something you ain't got no business getting into. So this little boy right here is doing something positive with his time and with his life. And how can someone get upset with that? You know, that really irritates me that this neighbor did this. But like I said, it's a good thing. It was a positive outcome for this young man. And if you are a nosy neighbor listening to this video, stay out of people's business. You know, it's okay if you're in their business when something crucial is going on. But for God's sakes, when people just are living their lives and trying to do good things and just trying to be normal people, you know, it's like, what are you looking at? Find something else to look at, you know, to where someone might actually need help. So here's this video.
Determination in his eyes and his posture.
He is very motivated.
With a lawnmower almost as big as he is. 12-year-old Reginald Field is on his toes doing business.
I'm having fun at the same time cutting.
His new business, Mr. Reggie's lawn cutting service.
I like just being out the house.
And with several helping hands and his cousins, brothers, and sisters, this group is up with the sun every day, working the neighborhood. And it's been smooth cutting this summer, until an incident a couple days ago. A new crew pulling up at Miss Lucille's house, where they were working for the first time. Maple Heights Police.
They said I was cutting their grass, but I didn't know it.
Lucille told me she quickly learned the neighbors called to complain.
They said that the kids cut their grass.
Claiming the group cut a section of their property and were in their yard. Yes, called police on children cutting grass. Reggie said he was discouraged for a minute.
I was like, that's a shame, because I didn't know.
But no longer than that, because the post Lucille put on Facebook about what happened ended up with thousands of views, hundreds of shares.
I guess I have like a line where part of it is not my yard. They called the police to tell the police that the kids was cutting their grass.
And now, Mr. Reggie is getting a lot of support for his new business from people seeing this and wanting to make sure he's never discouraged again.
People are, inboxing me like, how can I get in touch with these children? Where are they at? I got property that I even want these kids to, to cut their grass.
His lesson learned, no matter what life throws at you, just keep pushing, just keep moving.
Just give me a call. I will be there on time.
You know, I wish I lived there. If that little boy was closer to me, I'd pay him to come over and cut my yard. I'd have his lawn service over here cutting mine. Because, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Like I said, look at all those kids that were out there. They're doing something positive with their time. And how in the world can you condemn that? That's what I don't get. A couple years ago, my daughter was actually more than a couple, probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
the
when my
last
daughter
to
was
see
like
her.
10.
ABC News spoke with her yesterday. She was emotional.
Her and a couple of her
As you can
friends.
imagine, a mother would be under these
It was her
circumstances.
and
She
like
said she hadn't heard
2
from her daughter in
boys
days,
and
so
I
she
think
got
another
some
girl.
strange
They used to
text
go
messages
and
back when she tried to text her
they
daughter.
would rake
She said it was very
yards.
suspicious,
They would
so she
rake
decided to
yards
file a police
after
report. She said officers went
you
to
know,
Brittany's
in the
apartment
fall. They would
recently
always go
and
and they would
found
make
this.
they would
The
make pretty
apartment
good
was
money
unlocked.
doing that. And
It
they were
was,
building up clientele. They had repeat
she had
customers.
things
It
missing out
was
of it. It was
it
tousled.
gave them something to do when school got out. When school got out,
The cat
they'd
obviously
come
hadn't been fed all
home,
week.
get something to eat, change their
She would
clothes,
never
and they
do
would be
that to her
gone.
children.
And they would be gone for hours. I'm sorry, not
And
cutting grass.
officers also
Raking
found
yards,
Brittany's car
doing
here
lawn
in the
work,
West Chase area, which is
yard
where the
work for
search is
people.
really going to be centered
We're
around this
moving
morning.
debris out of
They
the yard. Like, there were a lot
to
of things
also
that they,
join in on the search for
they were
Brittany
doing that was
Burfield.
positive.
It's important to note that she has
And,
two,
to see young children like this getting out and trying to make their own money in an honest, legal manner is wonderful. Because there's a lot of grown people around here. Grown people, men, women, whatever, 30, 40 years old. 40 years old, they don't want to do nothing. You got a lot of lazy people in this world who just sit there, and don't want to do anything with their hand out or whatever. So for these young kids to actually be learning responsibility and all of that, that's wonderful. These are people, these young children are our future. They are the ones who's going to be adults, and grown. They're going to be the ones that's working in places, or for all we know, this boy right here could be our next president. You gotta learn to treat people nice. You don't know what type of position they're gonna be in another 20 years. That same neighbor might need this little boy one day. Who's to say he might not be a doctor? That man might need to go to the hospital. You treat people nice, and being in other people's business is not a good thing. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I thought it was a very, a very good example of how something negative got turned into something positive. And that's what we always have to remember. When we're faced with negativity, don't dwell on the negative side of it. Look how you can turn it into a positive. And that's exactly what happened in this situation right here. So Mr. Fields, you keep doing what you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong, baby. You keep doing what you're doing, and you keep on pushing, and you will succeed. And God bless everybody, and God bless these young children right here who's actually trying to do something for themselves. Well, thank y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. If y'all want to send me anything, feel free to do so on my email, or you can add me on Facebook and send whatever you'd like through Messenger. The links for both of those are down below. If you have not subscribed to my other channel, please go do so now. Click on the link and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll be talking to y'all later. Love y'all.